Galloway's Wow Wednesdays. How to use barcode readers and QR code readers on an iPhone camera.
Oh, hi guys, how's everybody doing? Well, firstly, I'd just like to say that using technology, using the camera on your device is a great way of staying independent, especially when you're out and about, if you're in the shops and things like that. And you pick up products, you're not sure what they are. There's loads of different apps out there that you can use for scanning barcodes and things. But sometimes they're not always, visually impaired friendly. But I'm going to kind of show you an app today this one's on the iPhone, and it's called Seeing AI, and this has a product recognition feature built into it, which is quite good. And then I'll also show you another app called Envision AI as well, which is actually available on Android and on Apple as well, which comes at a small cost per year as a subscription cost, but it is pretty good. So these apps do lots of things like reading text and recognizing images, light sources, handwriting, lots of different things that they can do. We're just going to be today having a little look at how we can use them to recognize products. So what I'm going to do is firstly, I'm just going to share the screen, share my screen, and hopefully that will come through in a second. Okay.
Yeah, we've got that, Andrew. Thank you.
You can see that. Okay. I'm going to go to the app Seeing AI. As what this does is, in this app there is an option called product.
ZZZ.
Can you hear that, Jenny, when it says product?
Product.
Yes.
You can? Oh, that's good. Okay.
Product.
This app does works with voiceover and screen readers and lots of things like. And
Processing.
Let me go back one.
1 Samuel 127. So, I prayed for this child. And a year vinyl decal sticker quote. Small processing.
Okay.
Not recognized.
I get a product. I've got a packet of crisp here, and I'm going to place my phone over.
Processing.
It's not recognizing that one.
Not recognized.
Let me try again. Let me just try that again. Oh, it's not recognizing that one.
Processing.
Let me try my bottle, because
not recognized.
I've got a bottle here, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to turn the bottle around until I hear some beeps on the device.
Processing.
There we go. It's
Pepsi Max Cherry 600 megaliters
of Pepsi Cherry Max 600 mils. So you can use this app when you're out and about in the shops. If you pick a product up, if you don't know where the barcode is, you might have to guess. You might have to turn it round and wait for these beeps. So I'll just do that again. As you turn this around, eventually, I didn't even hear.
Processing. Pepsi Max Cherry 600 megaliters.
Barcode straight away, but you may hear some beeps as it starts to recognize the barcode to tell you that there is a product there. Okay. So there is that app. So that's Seeing AI. You can download that from the App Store. Okay. That's quite a nice app that you can use. The other one, which will be interesting to see, this one is called Envision AI. So I've got this other app, and this will also scan a barcode as well. This is Envision AI, and basically hold this near the barcode. You get little beeps and things.
Product not found.
Oh, okay, saying product not found. So as you can see, different apps will do different things when you use them. Let me try this other one. Having much luck today. I'm holding that in
Product
front of
not found.
And that one's not. That one's not. I'll try something different. Sometimes you just don't always scan. But yeah, give that a go. Okay. Okay. Product not found. Nothing's working
Product
for me
not
today.
found.
Not having much luck here today, Jenny, with products. Got a twirl, a piece of twirl chocolate, which should scan. It's quite interesting because there are different apps that you can use. If I go back to CNAI and use the product mode again on that one,
processing,
and it's telling me it's a twirl orange. So that has worked this time on that one. So as you see, different apps will do different things. Sometimes it depends what kind of database they're accessing, what barcodes they've got available to them. I've scanned that 12 barcode, and I can get some extra information on this chocolate. There you go, and that'll give you some information about the product that you're using as well. So it's worth trying a couple of different apps that are out there. But the two that I use predominantly is CNAI and Envision AI. Unfortunately, CNAI is only available on the iPhone, so on the App Store. But Envision AI is actually available on Android and iOS devices as well. So as you can see, sometimes barcodes will work, sometimes they won't, and it can be a bit of hit and miss. But most branded items will scan and give you a description of what they are. If you go into places like Aldi and Lidl and places like that, sometimes their products don't always scan if they're an Aldi product or a Lidl product, for example, or sometimes some of the Tesco's own stuff. So it's mainly brands at the moment, but there's hope in the future that's going to get better. And at the moment, I don't know if anybody's seen in the news that Kellogg's are using a new type of barcode that uses something called NaviLens, and that's much easier to use. And they're doing a trial with a high contrast barcode on Kellogg's cereal boxes, starting with Special K. And you don't even need to have your phone really lined up with the barcode. It can get it from quite a distance. So we're going to see this technology moving forward, and hopefully it becomes a lot easier, scanning products and things like that as well. So that's an interesting development as well. Did you see that, Jenny, recently?
Yeah, James sent a link round, didn't he, to us all?
Yes. Yeah.
It was a good read.
Yeah.
The apps that you've got.
Yeah.
Is there a facility to, say, scan a product that isn't recognised and then tell it what it is?
Yeah, it's a good question. Louise is just asking a question there. There are some apps where you can pre-scan a barcode in if it's not normally recognised by an app, and then you've got some sighted assistants. You can then name that barcode, and then when you come back to it at a later date, your phone will know exactly what that product is.
It's just in Aldi and places like that.
That might help in Aldi and Lidl and places like that.
If you do like Weight Watchers or like that my Fitness Pal.
Yeah.
And you add certain things, and you can do it by the barcode and add it.
Yeah. Lots of ways of doing it, isn't there?
Yeah, that's really good. The other thing I noticed, Andrew, as well, was your barcode was upside down. It didn't have to be the right way around, because under most barcodes you've got a long number underneath all the black and white lines, and the number is always on the bottom of the barcode. So when Andrew scanned his chocolate bar, I have to say, very good choice of chocolate bar, it was upside down, but it's proves that the app still works. It's still got that capability of being diverse enough to not making sure you're reliant purely upon your site to get it right, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And if all fails with the barcode, you can always use text to speech. You know, with Seeing AI or Envision AI, you can use that text to speech reader as well to try and read, you know, some of the text maybe off the product. For example, Amazon's new feature, Show and Tell, on the Echo Show devices, that can recognize products just by the picture of the product. And if it doesn't recognize the product as a picture, you can still get some of the text off it as well. So there's lots of different ways you can use the camera. If the barcode doesn't work, go to your text to speech instead and use that. So there you go. That's my little bit. So we're over to Jenny and Amanda.
I am going to move my camera because I'm not as technical as Andrew, and I've got a Talk brochure that's come in the post. So I'm just holding it up. It's a greeny grey envelope for those who have dialed in on the phone or for those with no vision, and it says Talk for everyone in white. And on the back of the envelope, in the bottom right hand corner, I've got a QR code here. So if I want to know what is on that with my iPhone, if I open up my phone and hover it, let me rejig my camera. There we go. Trying to work a camera and a phone is great fun. So I'm just going to hover my camera. So I've just opened my camera app on my phone, and it has opened up a little icon in the top of my screen. It says website or code, and if I just click on that, it's taken me straight to the web page for Talk. So that's great when it's on the back of products and things. It's just loading up. So it's gone straight into Talk and it's promoting the latest £20 a month broadband offer, which is what they had on. In some circumstances, you don't need to open your camera app. It will just work. So if you have gone out to the pub or what have you, and you're doing the NHS track and trace, you literally open your iPhone, it has to be an iPhone, and hover the camera over the barcode, and it will instantly pick it up for you and scan in and do your track and trace, which is great. But if necessary, if you've got the NHS COVID app, which I've just selected, you have an option on there with a purple icon that says check into venue. So you'd click that and then hover your camera. It opens up a small camera screen about halfway through your size of your iPhone screen. And you'd hover that over the QR code and it will instantly check you into your venue. When it does that, if you've got your vibration on, it will vibrate in your hand so you know you've scanned it correctly. We tried this quite a lot last weekend when we were out and about, just checking different ones, because quite a few people have got them on the doors for you, which is really handy. It didn't beep, which is a bit frustrating for me, but having it holding it in your hand, it was good to feel that vibration. But your text to speech will also work with it, which is really helpful. But we've also got here a Android phone. So I'm going to just do that again. So I've downloaded a really basic app called QR and Barcode Reader from the Google Play Store. And as Andrew said, you can get multiple apps. So this also, once you've opened your QR code and barcode reader, you will automatically have your camera launched. So again, if I just hover that over the barcode, I don't, because there's no talkback facility set up on this, it will it won't give me any feedback, it won't beep, it won't tell me it's done anything or anything like that. But it works in exactly the same way as the iPhone does, whereas you've hovered it over your QR reader. If you've got your haptics set up so it'll beep and vibrate in your hand for you, then great, it'll do that once you've managed to take the image. It will then open up a fresh page for you, and you're asked to click on the web page for more information, and it will then tell you, it will direct you to that web page, whereas the iPhone one takes you automatically into that page. You have a further step to do with the QR code reader on the Android devices. And the way Andrew demonstrated the barcode reader on Seeing AI, the same app for your QR reader on your Android device also will recognize whether it's a QR code or a barcode and will just scan it regardless. You've then got that additional one button to press to ensure that you're getting through to the product information. I have tried it out on the I've got a box of Quaker Oats 2 minutes ready ones, the raspberry and strawberry, raspberry and cranberry flavoured instant porridge oats here. So on the, if you're looking at the box in the front, so you've got your image of the Quaker and then the product information of what it is, with your information down the bottom and the bottom right hand corner telling you your recommended daily allowances for things. Then that's on the right hand side edge of the box on the bottom right hand corner is where you'll find the barcode, and that's pretty similar for most boxes as well. So that's quite handy to know that they tend to be in the bottom right hand corner. If they are something like a ready meal, whether it's Wiltshire Farm Foods or an M&S one or whoever, they're very kind and helpful, and like they do with most things, is your packet is landscape and the information is always on the bottom. So you have to flip your meal upside down or remove the sleeve from it, which is not particularly helpful if that's not the one you want and you're going to put it back. But yes, they tend to be, again, on the bottom right hand corner if you're going to use the likes of a ready meal or some of the smaller products. Some of the little pre-packet vegetables that you get in the supermarkets in the clear plastic cartons with the pull-off film, theirs tend to be on the back of the product. So if you've got it right way up, you've got your film on the top, they're on the back and tend to be in the center of the bottom of that. So hopefully now this has done its thing and will open up for me. Yes. While I'm waiting for that to do, I'm going to ask everyone to unmute themselves and they can ask us any questions while I'm waiting for this to sort itself out. Fabulous. Thanks for unmuting yourselves. Yvonne, it's star and 6 if you wanted to unmute.
The other barcode app.
One Andrew did.
Yeah. Is that free?
Seeing AI is.
No, Seeing AI is free, but the other one.
Oh, the one for the Android device. Yes, it is.
Oh, right.
But like with most of them, you can have paid for options as well.
Yeah.
So there's a variety of ones out there, and the easiest thing to do is just download one and try it yourself, because some of them, they're all tweaked ever so slightly differently. They're all coded ever so slightly differently. So it depends on how well it works with you, whether you've got the talkback on your phone or your text to speech on it, and then how well that's working with the app as well. There's that many out there that we couldn't possibly go through them all, but they do all work with your text to speech or talk over. The ones that we've come across anyway, or the ones that people have said, oh yeah, I've used this one and that one. So yeah,
all good it will vary because everybody shops differently as well, which can dictate,
Exactly, and it's also dependent upon your device. Like this phone is a very cheap one purchased through Amazon, although it's not an Amazon phone. It's just a very basic smartphone that will allow me to ring out text, and I can access internet on it, use it for my day-to-day use, because it's not powerful enough in that sense to do all the other things I need. So I have it just to ring people out with, really, for work. And then my own personal phone is my iPhone 11, so that gets me to be able to use my Seeing AI in the shops. And yes, I do scan barcodes, and I do have it read out to me on the short text section as to what things are, because unfortunately on the barcodes it doesn't tell you things like the expiry date of that product. Packaging isn't standard, like we've just said about where the different QR codes are for different items. Somebody says to you, oh, it's on the back of the bottle. If you've got no sight, how do you know which is the back of the bottle? You've got to find your way around. And hopefully, if you've got sensitive enough fingers, you can find where the label on the Coke bottles joined together, but not all the bottles have that kind of seam for you to use as a guide. So you're trying to guess all the time as to where things are. But for those that have got some useful vision, it is frustrating, but you can find them. And then you can do your own scanning at the till as well, and to argue back with it when it doesn't recognize it. It's different when you're trying to just look something up, but when it's trying to scan through the till, it's quite frustrating. Amanda, we were just saying we've had major technical difficulties, and my Android phone won't let me work the app now. It's told me, we're back. We've got 3 versions of it now.
I'm sorry, I had to disappear.
Oh, no worries. So we were just saying that I've got a talk leaflet here. We scans the QR code on it with just a generic QR reader. So again, like Andrew's done, I've put the phone as close to it as I can till it picks it up. So then once it's opened up, it has now put up the web link on a fresh page. So it's taken the image, it's opened a fresh page. So if I click the web link now, it's gone straight to the TalkTalk website. So that was the QR section, but the exact same app will
do barcodes
also allow me to do barcodes, which is brilliant. So I've got my big strawberry, raspberry and cranberry instant Quaker oats. I've found the barcode on the bottom right hand corner of the box on the right edge. It scans that nice and simply for me. Again, it's opened a second page up, and it does say product on the top there. So if I click that, she says, it's crashed again.
Do you want me to talk it through on an iPhone? Because I've got mine on my iPhone, if anybody's got an Apple product.
Yeah, just 2 seconds. So yeah, on the bottom of the screen, you have got the image of the barcode, and once and then you've got there it is. You've got your image of a search of a magnifying glass. It looks like with web search on it. So when you open that up, it does. It's not connected to my internet. Yeah, it's opened up. It's telling me that it's Oats So Simple Strawberry and Cranberry. The product was produced on the 18th of May 2018. So then, It's just mental today with technology. But it's also brought up images of different flavors of Quaker oats. So if you do have some useful vision and you wanted to know what other flavors they did, you know, it's an easy way to do it. And it does work with text to speech. I did have it on text to speech before on the talkback, but that's what crashed my phone initially because it's such a very basic phone. But yeah, Amanda, if you'd like to do the iPhone, Andrew did the Seeing AI app.
Okay. Well, this is if you go into the Apple Store, and I think it might be the same one that's on an Android, but it's just called QR code. I've got a terrible glare off my screen, but if you can see, it's this one here that says QR code. And basically, it looks like a load of squiggles with a red line on it, but it's just called QR code. And when you download it, once you open it up, it will come up as if it's trying to take a photo. And in the middle, there's a very faint outline of the corners of a box. So what you do, I've got my very trusty moisturizer. I should advertise Nivea, you know, everyone. I recommend Nivea. So on my Nivea box, at the very bottom there, there's a there's a barcode, but this will do QR codes as well. But I'm just going to do it on the barcode. And basically, I take a picture of it by holding the phone over the barcode. Now, you can get ones without adverts. I've been a cheapskate and not paid the extra. So mine comes up with an advert, which I do have to wait 5 seconds for it to go, or there's a cross I can press on the top right-hand corner to get rid of the advert. Now, when it comes up, it will actually display a picture of the product that I've demonstrated, I've scanned, as well as a very, very full description. So it actually tells me it's the Nivea Rich Nourishing Body Lotion. Now, if I had my voiceover on the phone, for me to get the voiceover to work, I'd have to click on that description. So it isn't as intuitive as you might like. So you can take the picture and you don't have to press anything if you take the picture. You literally just put the phone over the barcode, and then once it's come up with the picture of what it is, you have to click on it for you to get the voiceover, so it tells you what it is if you want that to read out to you. So it's not as intuitive as it would like. It could do with a bit of work on that. It does have at the bottom a thing called history. So it actually can show you all the things that you've scanned and on what dates. So if you think, oh, I scanned something on Monday, what was that product? Or I saw that and I liked it. It does actually keep a memory bank of everything you've scanned.
Oh, right. Oh,
so I think that's quite handy. So if you think, actually, what was that thing I bought, or what was it? You can remember it on there. So it's a very simple little app. Like I say, it does have an advert that pops up before it brings you the description of what you've scanned, which could be annoying. So if you are going to get a QR code reader, it might be worth having a look at a few and getting the one without adverts. Otherwise, you have to wait for the advert to pop up, which could be annoying, I should imagine, especially if you're out and about in public. So that's on an iPhone. And like I say, if you go into the App Store, that's just called QR Reader, and it will do QR codes, and it will also do barcodes. Me and Jenny were trying to test this a few weeks ago, and we were both, well, I don't know if running around the house trying to find anything that we could scan that had a QR code, like nutters. And the pleasure we found when we found something. But a lot of British products seem to have barcodes rather than QR codes. So you may find the QR codes are more in use when you're actually physically out and about at venues such as your pubs and your bars, your theatres and your restaurants and things. But on products, barcodes seem to be predominantly the thing. But on some products, you will get both a barcode and a QR reader.
The problem with QR codes in venues, there'll be some people with such low sight or no sight at all, they're not going to see that contact tracing QR on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, have you already covered the NHS, the COVID app to check in, Jenny?
Briefly. So I said I had the COVID app open I had the COVID app downloaded, I'd opened it up, and on the top with a purple icon is you check into venue, and then you could just scan from there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't beep.
Yeah, it's not very good in terms of you don't necessarily know it's done it. The only thing that would give it away is it will actually say that you've checked in, and give a description of where you checked in. So it's
there's
not
a small vibration on it if you've got your right. And I have said to a couple of venues where I have been, where is it? And then, oh, it's just round there. Where's just? I've got a guide dog with me. Where's just round there? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I'm quite sure Lindsay has found this as well. Although I still have a little bit of useful sight left, Lindsay.
Yeah.
No,
but I haven't got any.
Have no fear. So. Yeah.
See, Lindsay would fall foul of it, wouldn't you?
I would,
yeah.
But,
what I've done is when I've been out with sighted friends is gone, I'll do that because it's quicker and easier. But if there was a group of guys from Galloway's going to do something, then yes, we would need to be able to try and do this a little bit more easily. Or you can always ask a member of staff to take your details, or ask them to scan it for you if you are happy to do that.
And a lot of places will actually ask you to show you that it's worked. I went to a pub the other day and I had to scan the place to check in, but I also then had to show a member of staff that I had scanned it, so he actually confirmed it had worked for me. So some places will actually ask you to, can we see it before they let you in, so at least you've got that indicator whether it's worked or not.
Yeah, because we were talking about this and we think potentially a lot of eateries and cinemas and theatres and the likes will continue to follow the government current guidelines on track and tracing and social distancing, regardless of what happens on the 19th of July, because they don't want to be in a position where they have to close again. If you've only got a small group of staff in your team, they come into contact with someone serving food and they unfortunately get poorly, then the whole business has to close. So I don't think that they're gonna get rid of this anytime soon. It's all dependent upon actually what the NHS COVID app itself, rather than the NHS general app, happens with it, because there's debate about that at the moment.
Well, I know, just to cut a long story short, and perhaps sum it up for everybody, that was all about the COVID app today on yours and yours. That it's not, there's very little effort being made to update it.
Yeah, and it is
for
very
this
difficult.
kind of purpose, for the new rules or lack of rules coming in.
Yes, yeah. I think because it's going to be a case of it's dependent upon establishment to establishment. They're looking at airlines continuing to request that you wear masks while you're away and things like that. But I mean, if you are fortunate to certainly get abroad and go to the likes of the States, QR readers is the way to go. They do a lot of things on QR readers, and there's also ones that are, am I right in thinking, Amanda, that it's with Good Maps, isn't it, where they've linked the QR with the Good Map, and you can scan and it tells you where you are within a building? Yeah. Or am I getting that wrong?
No, I think you're right. And just to go back to the NHS app, if you go into the settings, when you open the app where it says check into a venue or check symptoms or this, that and the other, there's a thing called settings. It's the yellow tab. And there is a thing that says venue history, but it does actually give you a full history of where you've been and at what time, which might be quite useful for those of you who do think, God, I've met up with a friend, they've got symptoms. What day did I go and meet them? It kind of gives you a history of where you've been and at what time. So that might prove handy at the moment. How's everyone feeling about venturing out without masks? Are most people going to keep their masks on? How do you feel about going to venues that may not require you to wear a mask?
I'm only going out when I have to at the moment, and I do tend to wear a mask when I go indoors. I think I probably will carry on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think mainly because of the social distancing, because one thing I found with the social distancing, obviously I can't see people coming towards me. The guide dogs aren't trained to do it. And it's amazing how many people walk into you.
Yeah.
They just kind of barge through you, and it's just crazy. So I just don't feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
The thing as well is with regards to social distancing, it happened before lockdown.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody sees that you've got a cane or a guide dog, then you need manhandling from A to B. And it's like, get off.
I didn't know they were rolling it out in hospitals, because many, many years ago, I was dreading visiting somebody. It was my dad, I think it was, in hospital, you know, and you'd lots and lots of corridors to go down in a hospital, you know.
Yeah, it's down to each individual hospital as to whether they want to have their building mapped and then whether they're willing to pay for that service. It's going to be a while before it comes to the standard, but you know the ball has started to roll